As long as you are putting in the time, as long as you're putting in the energy, as long as you're putting in the focus, you can make money. If you stop working, you stop making money. That's the biggest thing that I want you to understand. All right, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Unit 7, please look interested. I want to talk a little bit about behind the curtains, our business. I want to talk a little bit about this in a more understanding of why you do what you do. You have to have a very logical reason. If your long-term goal is, hey, I want to become an owner, what does that mean, right? Why become an owner? What's the benefits of becoming an owner? Why go through this whole process if you don't have a clear reason as to why, right? But first, let's talk a little bit about ownership. Everybody read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? I would really suggest everyone to read that book because it was probably my first eye-opener as to why do I want to go the route of an entrepreneur? Why do I not want to be a very well-paid employee? And why do I want to eventually work for myself? But one of the things that the book really breaks down, and does a great job at breaking it down, it breaks it down into 4 quadrants really. And it says, listen, there's 4 kinds, all right? 4 kinds of career path in essence, right? You have your standard employee, right? And that's your 9-to-5 guy, that's your 401k guy, right? And God has created some people to be a great employee. Listen, I don't think God has created everyone to become an entrepreneur. I'm always going to be very respectful, even though that's not the route I picked. I'm always going to be very respectful towards anybody that picks a different path, right? Because I know it's not cookie cutter, everyone's made the same. So, employee, let me ask you guys something. What is the disadvantages of the employee route? As long as you're putting in the time, right, you are making money. So the way you bring in income is through your time. It's through 9-to-5. It's through clocking in your hours. That's the employee method. So let me ask you guys something. On the weekends, do employees get paid? On the holidays, when they're not working, let's just say it's a regular hourly job, not a salary job, are they getting paid? No. So if they're not working, they're not getting paid, right? Again, not disrespecting it. There are some very well-paid employees in this country, and some people that take this path, I think they can still create some wealth. I'll say this. But they're strictly tied, their income levels is strictly tied to how much time they're going to put in. The minute they stop putting in time, then there's no longer income coming in. Does that make sense? You have to understand this model. The next one that he talks about is sole proprietor. You're a business of one. Okay? You're a business of one. You own a gas station. You own a little liquor store. Whatever it is. You're the only employee in that place. When your doors are open and you're in your business, there is income coming in as long as you're still putting in the time. Good place to be in. I mean, there's some tax benefits to being a sole proprietor because you get to write off some cool stuff, but your income is still very much tied to the amount of time that you're going to put in. Does that make sense? All right? Again, you can still make good money being a sole proprietor. I'm not here to evangelize a specific role or what you should be. I think you need to know what you need to be. And if you are going to pick a certain route for yourself, you need to know why you're picking that certain route for yourself. Does that make sense? The primary objective on the left side that I want you to understand is that as long as you are putting in the time, as long as you're putting in the energy, as long as you're putting in the focus, you can make money. If you stop working, you stop making money. That's the biggest thing that I want you to understand. On the right side, you start to get into 2 areas where your money is no longer tied to your time, okay? So here it talks about the business owner. Business owner, now, since we have talked about the sole proprietor, now we're talking about a business that operates with or without the owner. Obviously, I'm not talking about the habits here right now. If you have a business owner where the owner is always checked out, then of course that business is not going to survive. But let's just say you're a business owner, you have people that work in that business. Let me ask you guys the question now. Does that business generate revenue if you're not working? Yes, right? So let's just say now Sally, who used to own a gas station, decides to expand. Sally buys 2 locations and she has 3 employees working in there and she checks in her gas stations. Is she a business owner now? Is she still generating revenue when she's not working? Yes, absolutely. People are still coming in, getting gas, and Sally is not in the gas station 24/7. So here, your time does not dictate necessarily how much money you make. And the last one he talks about, and again, we can talk about this for days. I'm just giving the bare breakdown of what the book is teaching in this point, right? The last one is your investor. I am currently looking at fourplexes. Probably by the end of the year, I might pull the trigger and get one. Those fourplexes will have people that are renting those apartments. Let me ask you guys something. Will that fourplex make me money if I'm alive or dead? Do I even need to check in on that place? No, there's going to be a property manager. If the light bulbs go out, it's their problem. They're going to have to take care of it. I will still be making rental income on that property, okay? I'm looking into Dallas. Dallas is my favorite city in the country, one of my favorite cities, but I'm not even living in Dallas. I'm in Orange County, but my property in Dallas is going to be making money. Investor. Here, your time, it also does not dictate how much revenue you make. Does that make sense? Left side, right side. Again, I'm not trying to evangelize anybody to be one specific person. I think every single person needs to do their own job, internal work, to know, hey, you know what? I think I'm best fit to be the number 2 guy. I don't want to take the risks of the number 1 guy. I know the number 1 guy can make a lot more money. I need a lot more peace of mind, so I'm okay being on the left side. Cool, done. I don't want you to change that. If that's you, stick to that. Be the best possible one, because let me tell you something. There are some really well-paid doctors. There are some really well-paid engineers that are your typical employees, and they make really good money. It's just you have to understand why you're picking what you're picking and what are the benefits of each.